Okay, so once again talking about culture. This morning I realised something important that I hadn't realised before about culture. And this may sound obvious for those of you who just have realised this without realising that you've realised it. And I apologise if that is the case. Maybe I'm just slow on the uptake. But here it is. One aspect of culture is protection. What do I mean? I don't just mean that it's safer to copy the way other people are doing things because you know that's going to work. I don't just mean that. That's what I've said in the past, and it's still true, but there's more to it. What I mean is, if you act according to the culture, then the culture will protect you. And it's not really the culture that will protect you. The other members of that culture will protect you. That's part of the cultural programming, I think. To co-protect each other. Identify other members of the culture and protect them as they will protect you. And perhaps I haven't realised this because I live in a country with laws and police, and it's relatively peaceful, and so protection is not the front of my mind. And you could say I'm a member of that culture, that country with laws and police. And I have said this before, that I think I've said this before, a country is a protection racket. So the idea is that some warlord comes along, extracts taxes from you to fund their defence of the realm, which is apparently your realm as well, to protect from other warlords. And really, it's a valid point. Of course there are going to be other warlords, but the fact of the matter is they're kind of making each other, you know. The existence of Warlord A operating protection over Country B instigates the existence of Warlord B instance of Warlord C operating protection over Country D. Because what if Warlord A invaded Country C and vice versa? So countries are a protection racket. I've kind of realised that for quite a while. But is culture a protection racket? No, I think it's more holistic than that. It's simply that by acting in a certain way and looking a certain way and identifying with certain things, you can expect to receive the backup. You can expect other people who are also doing that same thing to look out for you. And that makes total sense. So not only are we dealing with a situation and culture where we choose to, because culture, as said before, is a survival strategy. And by that I meant that, you know, we adapt a pattern that works. We say this works, so let's do that. The way it's propagated is that people copy each other if they're successful at surviving. But there's more to it, as I said. It's more sophisticated because the members of that culture, the members of that survival strategy, as it were, are able to recognise one another and look out for one another. And I don't know why that's escaped my attention until this morning, but it did. And so, looking the way I do, acting the way I do, sometimes I feel out of place. Sometimes I feel like being something of a non-conformist might be dangerous for my health. I mean, not exactly that people are going to persecute me for being abnormal or whatever, or for not being like them. I don't perceive that. Fortunately, I do live in a culture where people respect those sorts of boundaries to a degree. But on the other side of the coin, could I expect to receive the support that I'd receive if I cut my hair, shaved my beard, wore a business suit, and drove a nice car, and lived in a nice house. And I feel like living in a quite affluent part of the country, where most people are better off than I am. I'm not badly off, but comparatively I'm at the poorer end of the spectrum. And not only that, my effort to conform is quite low. So I feel like it could be dangerous. This mode of behaviour could be potentially hazardous if something was to threaten me, because I feel like I would have no support. Maybe that's incorrect, maybe I would. I'm sure I would from a legal perspective, but just from a perspective of having people around you that would look out for you, I don't feel like I do. And this is at the lowest level, simply because I don't appear to be like them. And you can see there how this type of self-protecting organisation system would lead to conformity between its members, or at least the appearance of conformity between its members. I always thought that conformity was down to the idea that it was simpler and easier just to copy a successful model, successful pattern that other people were successfully using. And maybe that's part of it, but it seems like there's another part of it, and it's a slightly darker side. You know, and maybe I don't look normal. Well, I do quite a lot of normal things, but that's not good enough because people aren't going to see that. That's not face value. I'm not presenting that. I don't go out of my way to try and look odd. I don't go that far. You know, I don't try and freak people out. This is just like what I look like, because I don't make any effort to look like anyone else. I can't be asked to cut my beard. I can't be asked to cut my hair. I can't be asked to buy new clothes. And I can't be asked to get a decent car. This one does. What's the problem? There's a lot of aspects to me which I feel are pretty different to cultural norms. And you know what? I don't accentuate them. I don't express them fully enough, I feel, most of the time. Sometimes I do. I make videos like this, for example. I'm just one in a million of people making videos and putting them on the internet. I don't need the internet's support, if you know what I mean. The internet doesn't need to have my back. So, there it is. So it's up to me now whether I decide to look like I'm conforming to win the support of people around me, or to carry on as I am without an effort to conform or look like I'm conforming, and sacrifice that security